I know it's really scary and upsetting to watch your child do any kind of self-harm when they're so upset. And you don't mention how old your child is, but I wanted to share some of the research we have about kids with ADHD and anxiety who hit themselves when frustrated and what that's about. First of all, it's more common in kids with ADHD. They have higher impulsivity. They can get very overwhelmed and frustrated. There might be sensory issues at play. This might be them trying to get some sensory input. So I encourage you to slow down and look at what else is going on around them and have a discussion with them when it's not happening. Just to ask them what they think they might need in the moment. For some kids who are looking for sensory input, they might actually be open to something like a strong hug or jumping up and down and shaking their hands, some way to get some other sensory input. And the other thing then too is talk to them about the self-talk that is happening around that. Sometimes they'll hit themselves and say, I'm stupid, and talk to them about how this is their anxiety being really mean to themselves. There are various techniques about talking back to anxiety. I'm not going to get into them all here. But basically, I want to say we look at the big picture. We understand that kids with ADHD are more vulnerable and more likely to end up doing things that are self-harm, and this is part of the continuum of self-harm. And let's address it right here by supporting them with empathy and compassion, and also work on giving them other coping tools when they are not completely overwhelmed. And let's see this as a growing edge. So I know it feels like, oh my gosh, I have to make this stop. And instead, let's say, I need to start on the path of helping them to find other coping tools and stay committed to working on those tools. I think sometimes we as parents, and I'm not saying this is happening for you, but I know sometimes I can feel this way. We feel so overwhelmed that we almost feel frozen and unable to take a step forward. Like if we cannot make it stop, we are not being successful. So remember that this stuff takes time, that growing coping skills and insight takes time, and we need to stay on the path of figuring out how to manage it and not see it as a past failure kind of thing, but as an ongoing journey that we are on with our anxious child. I hope some of that is helpful. Let me know if you have other questions.